Hello, it's Alistair with Accessible Photography. In the last episode, I was photographing an old kirk just through the trees, and I was getting disturbed a lot by the roar of RAF typhoons coming into Lossiemouth. And today I've decided I will come and photograph said typhoons. They're going to be coming in here very shortly. There's 4 out on manoeuvres just now, 2 up at the north towards Cape Wrath. They're now flying about north of Inverness, and there's 2 out to the west on the west coast. But they'll be coming home for tea and crumpet very soon, and I'll hopefully photograph them as they come in. Yesterday, I went to the end of the runway and photographed a few coming in then, a couple doing a fly past. They come in down the side of the runway at altitude, do a circuit, and then come into land. So it's really interesting. I'm sure they'll do that today. I'll try and film it, not with this, because it's a bit of a waste of time. I'll photograph it with the big lens, or film it with the big lens, so it might be a bit shaky. But we'll get something, and we'll take some photographs. Now, the key thing to understand with air photography is when they're in the air, they're against a bright sky, you have to overexpose a little bit to be able to get the detail in the shot. Of course, with modern cameras, you get a lot of dynamic range anyway, so you can adjust it in post afterwards. So I'll be doing that in DxO. Yes, I'm plugging DxO again. I'll be doing that in DxO, bringing up the shadow detail so you can see the aircraft if I haven't exposed it correctly in the first place. So as they fly by, I've got to be overexposed, and as they're coming into land, just out here, I can be exposed correctly. I had started at the other side of the airfield, and I was chatting to people there, and they were pointing out the sun's basically down the tail at the moment, heading to this side. You'd be better off on this side of the airfield, not that side. And they were absolutely right. I should get a little bit of sun on the side of the aircraft as they come in. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let's photograph some aircraft. On my phone, I'm using Flight Radar 24, and I'm tracking these two coming back from the bombing range at Cape Wrath, and they're now over the Moray Firth. They will then swing in over Forres and line up with the runway a couple of miles out. So that's them coming in now. So my first few images were acceptable, but they were at the wrong settings. This is 1/500th of a second, f7.1 ISO 1/60th, shot at 232 millimeters. It's okay, but when you zoom in, it's just not crisp. You can see the name, it looks like Squadron Leader Kingman, but it's just not perfectly clear. In this one, the settings are almost identical, 1/500th of a second, f6.3. I'm right in at maximum 400 millimeters, ISO 160, but my panning must be spot on. Look at the name, Flight Lieutenant D. Hall, clear as day. So this next series of photographs actually make me question whether raising the shutter speed actually works. This is shot at 1/2000th of a second, f6.3, 400 millimeters at ISO 400, and when he's alongside, it's still the 1/2000th, 6.3, and it's down to 336 millimeters, but staying at ISO 400. There's a slight blur on the name compared to the one I shot earlier. So it could just be the camera shake as I'm panning. It may be my panning that's wrong, but I felt I was getting away with the 1/500th of a second, ISO 160, compared to 1/2000th, ISO 400. Is that the last one? Yeah, right out. So that looks like that's the last aircraft of the day. I've just got to see if I've got any good images. Usual case with me, I had the wrong settings to start with. And for the last aircraft, I think it was on the right, I actually put it to shutter priority to get the shutter up. And then I have the compensation here if I needed it. But every time I was taking a picture, it looked like it was okay. So all we need to do now is see if it was. And I'm going to check flight radar and see if there's any more coming in. Because that gentleman said no, and he looks like he knows what he's talking about. And the key to knowing if they're finished for the day is that red and white, basically what the caravan over there will disappear. And then that's it for the day. But there's certainly not any more out there. I thought when he got 3 landing. Very odd. So how good is this community? The gentleman that went past and said that's it for the day, he's just called back. He's about 5 car lengths away. He just called back to say there's one more to come. I thought there was. I only counted 3 and I knew there was 4 out there. So I'm going to hang around and see what I can get. So this is the next plane coming in. It's a Poseidon P8, I think. And that's going to do a big circuit and come in to land. So it turns out I was wrong about the flights coming in. It wasn't 3 aircraft that landed, it was actually 4. I was so engrossed in taking photographs, I actually forgot to count. And the gentleman that called back to say there's another one come in, he was talking about the Poseidon P8, and I've just filmed it going across here. It's going right down across the Moray Firth, turning over for us and coming into Lossy, and I'm going to get that in a minute. I think I'm going to be hanging over this fence to get it. This is quite exciting. This is a big plane. I don't know if it's going to land in front of me like the Typhoons or way down the runway. So let's see what happens. It's gone up again. So you guys got better eyes than me. I know it's there. I can't see it. Oh, got him now. Yeah. Yeah.
Flash it, bright light.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, was the light. He just glinted sun on me as well, and that helped.
Just blends in too well.
The day before, I took up a position far too far from manoeuvring aircraft, and as a result, I suffered from shooting through a really strong heat haze, which rendered even stationary aircraft quite blurry. Also, always be aware of the heat that comes from the tail end of the aircraft, the jets. In this picture, you can see the tip of the wing is really sharp in focus, but the rest of the aircraft, again, it's just a blurry mess. And this all means that rear shots are not sharp due to this heat haze. But the look can be quite dramatic. It's really all to taste. Even though this aircraft isn't sharp because of the heat haze that comes from the jets, I really like this image of it coming into land with the landing lights prominent in the foreground.
That's it, they're all down. Time to go and check what photographs I've got. Edit a few on DxO, of course. And remember, if you want 10% or 15% off DxO products, use my code AP15 and the link below. Bye guys.